Good morning. Thank you all for being here, and sorry to hold you up for a few minutes. I have a couple of announcements. I have an executive order to sign. This is a quite historic and important moment in our city, and I'm very, very excited and been looking forward to today for some time. Let me thank just a couple folks who helped to make today possible. First, of course, is our Chief of Staff and Deputy Mayor for Public Safety, Everett Gillison, the Deputy Mayor for Administration and Coordination, and the Managing Director, Rich Negrin. Chief of Staff to the Deputy Mayor, who spent a lot of time and effort and focus on this work, Brian Abernathy, who's in the back. Brian, thank you very, very much. I want to thank Izzy Colon for his great service and commitment and actually leaving us a tremendous wealth of information and advice during his time of service and after. Let me also recognize someone that I've grown to admire a great deal. Didn't know her until recently, but many of us saw her on the national stage, and want to thank her for her service and her presence, and that is Patience Lehrman. Patience, you may have seen not too long ago receiving the President's Citizen Medal from President Barack Obama not too long ago. She's up at Temple University running Project Shine, which is focused, of course, on immigrant affairs and programs and services. And I want to ask you to please recognize Patience. Patience, good seeing you. Having said that, you'll probably see Patience and I together in a very, very different kind of way in the near future, but we'll talk about that some other day. It's a lot of fun. The 2010 census showed that Philadelphia's population grew for the first time in 60 years. That growth was driven in large part by an influx and a maintaining of population by immigrant communities across the city. A 2008 study by the Brookings Institute showed that the greater Philadelphia region's immigrant population was growing at a faster rate than any other metro area in the United States of America. Philadelphia, of course, is a city founded and built by immigrants. They are our neighbors, our friends, our co-workers, employers, and employees. They are running small businesses and revitalizing neighborhoods all across the city. Our government must foster their integration into the social, civic, and economic culture of our city, and at the same time, celebrate and respect the rich diversity of the communities from which they come. As I mentioned, with the departure from our government of Izzy Colon as the Director of Multicultural Affairs in the Mayor's Office, Global Philadelphia, one of our city programs, has been pretty much the only program operating within the government on the mission of reaching out to and being involved with the immigrant communities in Philadelphia. We are a world-class city, and we need to have a world-class agency to cater to the needs of many of our citizens. It is in the city's interest to ensure that immigrants and non-English speakers are receiving the city services that they need and deserve. Philadelphia will be a stronger, more dynamic, and culturally rich city if we meet the needs of this diverse citizenry and those who seek citizenship. We find strength in our diversity. Men, women, and children from every corner of the globe can be found in every corner of our city. From the Somerton neighborhood and the Franklin Mills Mall in the Northeast to Cobbs Creek and the International Airport in the Southwest, we are a city of diversity. And our country, of course, reflects the same. When you see, listen to, and read things that President Barack Obama is doing at the national level. And of course, as the President of the U.S. Conference of Mayors, I have the opportunity to work with my fellow mayors all across the United States, Democrats and Republicans, who are focused on immigration reform, citizenship, and bipartisan efforts in the Congress to make sure that we fix, once and for all, a very broken and flawed immigration system, that we recognize the 12 million estimated individuals whose documentation may not be completely in order, who are here in this country, their children are going to our schools, they're trying to make a pathway to full citizenship in the United States of America. A lot of people want to be Americans, and we need to make sure that they have the full opportunity, get the services that they need, and that they're supported by cities and mayors and city council members and state legislatures and the Congress and the President all across this country. It really is a great honor for me this morning to, in a few minutes, sign an executive order establishing the Mayor's Office of Immigrant and Multicultural Affairs. After I do that, I'll talk a little bit about the office, and then I'll introduce you to the folks who will be in charge. This is Executive Order number 3-13, Immigrant and Multicultural Affairs. Section 1, the establishment of the Office of Immigrant and Multicultural Affairs with appropriate duties and responsibilities. It is so ordered. The mission of the Office of Immigrant and Multicultural Affairs will be to promote the well-being of our immigrant communities and other multicultural constituency groups in Philadelphia by doing all of the following and many other duties and responsibilities, such as improving access to city services, engaging local and national community-based organizations and other nonprofit groups, developing economic resources and promoting civic participation, and assisting, of course, in educational opportunities and access. The office will provide guidance to all city departments, agencies, boards, and commissions regarding compliance with provisions relating to access for individuals with limited English proficiency and access for our immigrant communities to all city services. You will recall I've signed executive orders requiring all departments and agencies in our city government to provide service to anyone who is here, regardless of their immigration status, as well as another executive order requiring all across the government that we provide multiple language access through literature and materials that we publish and provide. The office will also work with the Philadelphia Police Department, the Deputy Mayor for Public Safety, Police Advisory Commission, and the Human Relations Commissions, for example, to help us coordinate and promote police-community relations and their improvement. The office will also work with our Commerce Department to assist in small business and workforce development areas, and will coordinate with the Philadelphia School District and, of course, the Mayor's Office of Education to promote cultural understanding in our classrooms and develop resources for our students with limited English proficiency. The Mayor's Office of Immigrant and Multicultural Affairs has an enormous opportunity to do incredible work within communities all across our city, and every citizen will benefit from this office. We're a better city when we respect everyone who is here, when we learn more about each other, when we understand where we've all come from, but we've arrived here in this place and no one is going anywhere. And so it is very important that we seek to better understand who we are and what we're about and what it means to be an American, while also respecting our own individual cultural traditions. Without further delay, let me introduce you first to the new Executive Director for the Office of Immigration and Multicultural Affairs, Jennifer Rodriguez. Jennifer?
Thank you, Mayor Nutter, and good morning to you all. I am very grateful and honored to be joining the administration. I look forward to contributing to your vision for a Philadelphia that recognizes immigrants and cultural diversity as a vital element of the city's growth. And the verdict is in. Cities with thriving immigrant communities prosper. They're vibrant. That's in many ways because many immigrants are resilient, self-reliant, tolerant of risk and ambiguity, attributes well correlated with success and entrepreneurship. In fact, studies show that immigrants are more likely to start a business than other groups, which means more jobs in Philadelphia, a larger tax base, and ultimately, better services for us all. I look forward to collaborating with the different departments, City Council, and stakeholder groups to elevate Philadelphia's profile in the 21st century as a place where diversity is not only embraced, but it is also celebrated, where our cultural differences become our collective strength, and where anyone, regardless of their origin, can find a pathway to achieve their dreams. Thank you.
And let me also now introduce you the Deputy Director of the Office of Immigrant and Multicultural Affairs, Fernando Trevino-Martínez.
Thank you very much, Mayor Nutter. Good morning, everyone. Buenos dias. Just wanted to take a brief moment to express how delighted and honored I am to be here this morning. As an immigrant myself, I recognize Mayor Nutter's leadership and welcome with open arms the creation of this new office. We have a lot of work to do to engage and to include immigrants and other constituency groups in the day-to-day life of our great city. In order to keep moving Philadelphia forward, we need to become a multicultural, multilingual city. We need to ensure that everyone has access to services, access to education and economic opportunities, and that as a city, we open our doors to everyone to participate in the civic, cultural, and social life of Philadelphia. We want to have an open and honest conversation with everyone about crucial issues like immigrant-friendly schools, college access and affordability, the role of immigrant communities and others in public safety, and the city's relation with federal immigration authorities. Once again, I'm honored to be part of this team. I'm sure that under this leadership, Mayor Nutter and Jennifer Rodriguez as the new Executive Director, we will keep moving Philadelphia forward and we will reinforce our position as a role model for other cities in the country. Thank you.
Two last things, and then I'll be glad to take any questions. Let me also recognize and thank David Torres, who has been heading up Global Philadelphia for a good long time and spent a little bit of time in the mayor's office, has been in a couple different assignments within the government. David, thank you so very much for your dedication, your commitment, your service, and of course, your continued focus on making this government a great place, and of course wish you well in your new assignment. Lastly, let me thank also our City Representative and Director of Communications, Desiree Peterkin-Bell, for her work in helping to bring today together as well. Desiree, thank you very much. With that, I'd be glad to take any questions from the news media about this particular announcement. I'm sorry? At the moment, the two individuals that I introduced, the director and the deputy director, are the primary staff. The executive order requires cooperation in two directions. Of course, the office is housed within the mayor's office, so naturally they have all the resources available from our office in terms of backup and support. All departments and agencies under the executive order are required, of course, to cooperate with their efforts, and so there'll be a lot of cross collaboration. The two individuals, in terms of salary, the director salary is at $100,000. The deputy director is at $90,000. That, in essence, is the budget for the office. But naturally, they get to work with a wealth of folks, the mayor's office, the managing director's office, and every department and agency across the government who are also required to help them in their mission. So it's not a heavily staffed operation, but they have the entire government as a resource. Anything else?
Mayor, you're on pace to create more offices like this and task forces or commissions than any of your predecessors in the last 50 years. What do the taxpayers gain from these new mayoral offices or executive orders?
I think, they each have their role and their purpose, but I'm not going to spend a whole lot of time trying to explain to you, Sean, the benefit of incorporating our growing immigrant population into the mainstream of the city of Philadelphia. I think it's rather self-evident, and if there's a tutorial or something needed later, I'll be glad to talk to you about it. But I think folks across the city of Philadelphia benefit tremendously when we make sure that everyone gets to participate in our city government. Next question. The director and deputy director, we've had a lot of conversation about this. We're anticipating a strategic plan to be developed within about 30 days. Again, this is an office that will have interaction with a wide variety of agencies all across the city government. Everything we do in this government every day has some direct or indirect impact on all of our citizens and certainly our immigrant communities. And so the charge is to make sure that it is infused within and without the entire city government. It's a lot of work, but they're pretty sharp. So, anyone else? I was looking for two really great people who had a wide variety of experience. They actually, kind of separately interviewed. The one didn't know that the other was in this conversation. Fortunately for us, they actually know each other and have worked together and worked well together. I've known both for some time. I've known Jennifer for a longer period of time. She was in another part of the government a while ago, and now, of course, I want to recognize her great service at APM, and certainly Nilda and the entire team there. I thank Nilda for nowhere near as painful a conversation as it could have been in that sense. So what I'm looking for with any appointment is what's the focus, what's the commitment, what's your drive, why do you want to do this? Is it consistent with our values and our commitment to openness and transparency and integrity in the process? And I was lucky and fortunate that I found two people to do that and carry out what I've been wanting to do for a long period of time, way beyond my time as mayor. Thanks. Thanks a lot. Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't see you. Sure. Well, I know that there are a lot of groups and organizations. I think the challenge for us in the government is to make sure that, on the one hand, we are always helping in collaboration and coordination, and also is my general philosophy, and on the other hand, that we get out of the way and allow things to grow and flourish. The one thing I know as a lifelong resident of this city, there's no lack of work. and there's never enough resources. And so our role and responsibility is to use the limited resources we have as a city government to the maximum capacity. But I believe that working together, nonprofit organizations outside the government, an office within the mayor's office, and everything resource-wise that we can bring to that, you build from the ground up and expand out. It is not for us to say what needs to happen. It's for us to say, how can we best assist? How can we drive the things that people are really trying to get done on the ground? That's the same philosophy we've utilized when you see the work that Rich Negrin has put forward with Philly Rising. We have a ton of resources. We'll never have enough, and we can't do it all by ourselves. So when we come into a community with Philly Rising, it's not, you know, we're here and we're going to solve all your problems. It's we're here, we have some resources, how can we best help? That's what I expect from this office. So there's, you know, no danger to any of the groups and organizations. We want to enhance what they're doing. They're on the ground each and every day. We have a little catching up to do. You're welcome. Thanks a lot.